You are watching Liberty Online.
This is Liberty Online TV powered by Orange Sierra Leone.
Orange.
Building tomorrow today with Rightmove. Looking for quality, reliability, and innovation in your next big build? Choose Rightmove Engineering and Construction, Sierra Leone's trusted name in transforming ideas into enduring structures. We don't just build projects, we craft landmarks that stand the test of time. From state-of-the-art offices and modern homes to fuel stations, water systems, and infrastructure, our team delivers precision, passion, and perfection. At Rightmove, we are not following industry standards, we are setting them. Through cutting-edge technology, uncompromising safety, and sustainable solutions, we are building a brighter, stronger, and safer Sierra Leone. Visit us at 54 Campbell Street, Freetown, or call 078399475 or 077504338. Rightmove Engineering and Construction. Building quality, building trust, building the future.
It's Labor Day. After all the grind, stress, and queries at the office, it's time to ease your brain, laugh out loud, and feel like the CEO. Laugh jam with Kido. Hustle will make sense on Labor Day, Friday, May 1st, 2026. Venue, prestigious Into Money Hotel, 7 p.m. Ticket prices: Kido, 500 millions. Answer, 1,000 millions. Amin, table for 4, 10,000 millions. Adil, table for 8, 20,000 millions. You don't buy yourself plenty. Now come and laugh. No excuse. Media partner Liberty Online Team and cooked by Eminence Africa.
I say it don't make sense. I don't make sense. Good morning, viewers, and welcome to another edition of the Breakfast Show, the very first one for this week, where they come to you live from Liberty Online TV with the stream on Facebook, YouTube, and also now we website. And of course, on Friday we launch we mobile app. So if you know download it, if you're an Apple user, go na your Apple store and type for Liberty TV. You they see the application, they come up, you download them. As soon as you download them, it go down on your phone. Now just TV on the go. Anything we want to know about news, information, entertainment, just click on the Liberty TV app. You will get all we content them will they produce. So in case you not download the app, if you're not Apple user, just go to your app store, type for Liberty TV, the app they come on, you download them, then there you go. For the Android users within a short time una self go get access for download the Liberty TV app, all thanks to NAFPIM, na a grant where they give Liberty TV now use for get the mobile application and also revamp we website. We get one of the slick website there now. Anything where you want for get authentic and credible news, just go on our website. You dey get many information then there. Good morning, Mina Khadija Bangura, and I sorry welcome you to the very first edition of the Breakfast Show this morning.
All right, and Amina Mabel Kabade say good morning. It's Monday and it's the 20th day of April 2026. Well, inside this edition of the Breakfast Show today, I guess plenty of people going to the weekends with smiles because they see the first turbine of the NANTS energy being camped, and a lot of communities they will be rejoice. We see when they pass with some people and in the streets they watch. Well, this edition of the Breakfast Show, we can talk about this particular machine we don't come, waiting people for expect. Also na the areas we go for can provide electricity for, because we understand say na 108.4 megawatts energy go for the give. Also go for get light, because we know see a lot of complaints there currently, but the way how the schedule time like we EDSA they do the shedding, we also go get for talk small about that, as we want for let una know waiting at the benefits of this particular project where government they implement currently. We say the money they come, all of that we can't talk about that inside this edition of the Breakfast Show. And also na this same Breakfast Show we go for can reflect, look back at the tripartite recommendation them, how both parties were involved in this recommendation, don't they handle the implementation of the recommendation them. Also we dey now waiting we for look forward towards, we dey discuss all of that this morning at the Breakfast Show.
And also the international moral guarantor them, we don't dey in a free tongue for almost a week now. The whole negotiations with different stakeholders them, starting from the main opposition APC party, we withdraw all the elected officials them and then boycott governance. The moral guarantor, they don't meet with them, they don't meet with stakeholders them from the government, they don't meet with His Excellency the President. Finally today then they pull a joint communique on the things that where they agree for, and this morning that communique they come out and you go know exactly waiting now the meeting points between the government of Sierra Leone and that of the main opposition. The MP then they go back na parliament, mayor then they begin walk back. That's not the question I believe say lots of una want for no, and we go get updates on that this morning at this edition of the Breakfast Show. You say for the watch, we go join we at some point, send we your message, make you comment on any of the issues that we can discuss. The very first issue we can discuss this morning now a turning issue where now a concern, especially during the dries. Many people na free tongue, there is serious concern, but the plenty blackout weekend day, and EDSA self can come out, update the public and decide for introduce a timetable where then they normally can call say load shedding. The areas that we forget, but over the weekend something where the government of Sierra Leone through the energy sector don't they talk about for a very long time. The first turbine of the NANTS energy projects don't come free tongue, and according to them, if they don't install everything, then go begin for get over 108 megawatts. How them plan for shape this? Is it that the challenge for electricity they come to an end? Now this at the studio this morning we get the Director of Communications for the Energy Distribution Authority in EDSA, Sir Nepo. Good morning, Nepo.
Good morning, and thanks for having me.
All right, I know say it's been challenging recently, especially with the blackouts in the city.
I don't agree.
No, yes, of course. Not to like I don't agree, not to secret. All the things that happen at EDSA, we don't come to the public. We don't update the public. We know say at this time of the year, even though we don't always come out and speak out the truth, not get nothing to hide. Like I can always say, we don't say we're in the guys. And times like this, it can be challenging for we. So we can get deficit in the supply. We can cause follow we come out to the public and inform them. Like I say, we don't pull a load shedding. load shedding means to say we are challenged. If we not be challenged, then there was no need for we issue out a load shedding plan. So yes, of course, we are challenged, but however, management to do all in best with this supervision of the ministry for ensure say we continue for pushing the situation and create more space for let people to get access to electricity.
How effective the load shedding be?
Well, to a greater extent, yeah, they're effective because what you do now, the load shedding every 2 weeks for the review. So it would review based on the generation, the increase in generation. We all know say the first time we launched the load shedding plan, we seriously challenged because we don't lost a lot of generation capacity from Bumbuna, and we get some challenges with CLSG and Guinea. But the coming weeks, we don't be able for further negotiate with CLSG and Guinea. So then we don't meeting for pump power and the grid. Thus the need why we begin for review the load shedding plan again, because we mean to say more people will get more access to electricity than the previous week, because we get less generated capacity the previous week. We'll get CLSG and Guinea, then add up to the generation matrix. So we add up to, we close some gap will be there exist in terms of outages. So, and that's what happened even with Bumbuna, because of we into the guys, the power generated static, the fluctuate. So there are times we will get 5-7 megawatts na free time. So based on what we receive from the also keen necessitates for that we review the load shedding. We also get we plan some we get the Nigata, we get the Watilla engines with the come on, especially during peak hours for ensure say then add up to the generation matrix and reduce the outages.
For the shedding for how long? We on the give a particular area we not seen them don't forget. How long the lights it for?
Well, it all depends because for instance, Labi give the east. The Labi on the load shedding, we outlined 6 service operational areas. And I will obviously mention the turbulent areas. For instance, we can get more transportation issues in the far east and the far west. So, and the far east, I think, begin from Jui right down to Waterloo, and the far west begin from Sox, from Juba, from around Juba, Tego, Sussex. So now, waiting don't happen over time is we know say we only say yes, we distribution network don't become obsolete. We need for reinforce our money for rehabilitate, we need for reconstruct. We've had projects, we don't do about 80 to 90% of that one. Now certain areas in the way not they experience too much problems in terms of accessing the power. But equally so, we still get a few areas we will not complete it. They get challenges in terms of fluctuation, in terms of voltage, which we know and we work for ensure say we try for solve down the. We don't also expound more power to more areas as compared to before. So a lot of work has been done. I just the focus now Freetown because plenty work has also been done in the provinces. As we can say, Freetown, not to Sierra Leone, we also did take provincial towns and rural communities into consideration when it comes to increase in electricity access. So, like I say, in Freetown, yes, we are challenged at this moment. We got a deficit with the range from 12 to 15 megawatts. And because we got a deficit, we get for ensure say we sit down, we plan ourselves and ensure say each and every customer gets access to electricity. So the load shedding, how they do them mostly alternatively. For instance, on the plan, we say if you get today, we'll get tomorrow. Don't mean to say they get during the day. Now we could call the load shedding plan night load shedding, because now more during the night now they get challenges because the peak hour and the consumption pattern can increase because Oman can don't go
for how long? Where the one way that the schedule they get?
No, they get
long for the day.
If for instance during the day, it's possible see the get at any time during the day. The days will not get problem because we get macros.
5 hours, 6 hours.
No, for
how
the day,
long?
I'm not going to specify how long it get, but most people get during the day. We don't get challenged during the day mostly. The challenge will get net. So net we can say, for instance, if now you forget the power come around 5, 6 o'clock, you're going to take in the morning. So if you get self during the day, but do it 5, 6 again, you know they get the other day because you never self get forget. So I'm going to call them alternative power supply. So if you get today from 7 to the morning, the other day from 7 to the morning back, you know, that's not you never get. But today we can do also is that from 7 to 12, actually we can on max as we peak hour. We can on 12. Also, we don't put some modalities in place for ensure because we cannot reach 12 net. We can get a drop in the load. Some people then cannot sleep now. Some mango likely put in AC or some mango likely put in television on. So the consumption pattern can reduce at that time. So what you can do, we staff them, we get on standby. Once the dashboard show for say that power don't reduce, they can go now for put on other ASM so that more people get access to electricity at that time because they will get power for supply give people.
But so, from where the load shedding itself starts, now aware as the areas and they will not get.
Yes, so they get a few
that flip flop no more.
We get a few complaints. We now make what to do is and I encourage people and we also introduce a chatbot where we say if you suppose to get power today, you not get report through that platform day. Because that platform day, you not get no intermediary. You self question you host, you go to the chatbot, you chat with EDSA, you make a complaint. If you think to say you forget light, you not get light, you complain. Because we take
how efficient is the chatbot?
We don't put we collaborate with DSDI and if you check the chatbot now, we see the response. Very efficient and we staff them, we see them would they look at the chatbot and the tickets, they complain them to the respective department for take action. And again, even as supervisors, we also from the director general to even the minister can go on the chatbot and look from the back end and look at complaints and know the resolution timeline.
Yeah,
so if somebody
before this chatbot, the way how now they respond to complaint is very slow. If fault happen a particular area, forget on to EDSA for let them go and fix that fault. It take ages. With this chatbot, how not able for respond swiftly to customer and complaint?
So what we don't do before is we get a free toll line on 672. We get a WhatsApp number on 077 672 672. We don't inform people then for say wanna use then line there for reports faults. Why? The reason is through the line there what you call a automated with the able to supervisors able to check for no say this call on coming, they don't record them, what's not the action I don't take and what's not the resolution timeline. But what normally they happen is that people prefer for call them party them family members who open EDSA and reports faults. And when reports to individuals that cannot be tracked, mostly cannot even be recorded. So as supervisors, we're not able for follow up on that one because then not then we register. So thus the need again why we continuously say we want to encourage we customers and the general public to report through the platforms and we'll get because the platform that we'll get supervisors attached to them platforms and then they give weekly reports for ensure say complaints and more than coming they are resolved or if they not resolve them then outline why they don't resolve them. But also like you mentioned about say for say some area they get outage. Yes, of course, where we publish a load shedding, we make it very clear for say, and no mean to say, if you forget lights today, you know, get that mean to say in a deliberate act. If possible, say you also get problems with your connectivity in the area. Now, of course, I will talk say once that line they would run, would deal with the network distribution infrastructure and a pole mounted infrastructure with the operator, we bound for the encounter problems. We get bank poles, we get broken wires, we get cut wires, we get issues along the line. So if you get that kind of problem in the area, you also get a responsibility for report to EDSA. Now make we get sub offices right across Freetown. Even as we see now, if you go down Kiama Road by I think the civil office we get to substation day. So when issues occur, substation day, they come once they report them to them, they can come there able for resolve them. There are some issues that more are big, who they know on a big scale, who we manage able to identify all by themselves based on patrols. But you get some minor issues that would happen. We so today now one person affected or a few people don't know can easily able to identify that one day, except complaints and come in, they can go and check them. So
because the ALS media from when I begin load shedding, na sonoma.
I don't know that's the way it's by na sonoma.
Na flash when they come by the time they change over, then said I don't go back.
Well, I don't know the area where they, but
you know,
who say there?
You know.
Well, I don't know. Don't make a ask. I don't know say the ask, but we in terms of the load shedding, we follow them religiously. And then we will stop them. We don't admonish them. In a situation where in this customer forget light and not get, and you don't get no fault, they will notice another light. No problem. The minister make it very clear that even is subject to dismissal because you give the authority bad name and by extension the government. So we know the job put down there. So now make I say that I make even the ministry support itself or even get them platforms there for the customer to report. Once in a while the minister they even come now the call center room, check the platforms and ask questions as to what's in the goal. Of course with DG, with deputy DG, we get a commercial services manager will also purely in charge for ensuring the platforms and fully operational and reports and they come in day in, day out. So yes, amidst all the challenges that we also do a lot of reforms for ensuring it's become viable, we able to satisfy our customers and all, but we know say at this time we still they continue for apologize to the public for letting see reasons which we and we still want for assure them for say even in as much as they face the challenges we also work from the back end. Plenty work they underway for ensure say by next year most of like I say the last over there every year we close the gap when it come to outages, especially during the dries, because with the plan. This year, you should say last year, we'll not be getting Nigata, we'll not be getting Watsila engines and more.
But complaining still can because last year by this time again, when we host you, now the same apology you give say una go work on this year will be the hope say better go there here we are again discussing on still the big we.
What they say would they move small. Last year it be worse off past this year because last year we get less generation capacity. This year we get more. We get Guinea on the grid. We get Makot on the grid. Of course, Makot in more during the day because you know it's not renewable energy and solar. Then as I tell you, we Watila and Nigata engines them on. So we get more. And like I tell you, the demand will be the last year, not going to be the same demand this year. Because if you check from last year to this year, a lot of things will happen at Freetown. People don't build houses, people don't build entertainment centers, industries, a lot of. So the demand increase. So if we get a demand of 60 megawatt last year, probably we'll get a demand of 80 megawatt this year because of the development and day. But however, as I say, we work towards ensuring that we plan for we get more energy na the mix so that people will get access to electricity. Even as I speak to you, I've already told about the NANTS project where they provide 30 megawatt na Freetown, na Newton, and provide 10 megawatt na Lunge. For the Freetown component, na the Newton, we don't complete them. They are testing now and they go. With the non-testing, they go commissioner. Once the commissioner, it is expected that from now to 1 month period, we begin supply 30 megawatts na Freetown, which will help drastically for reduce on any outage on the experience. So development they happen. Then of course we are working also to ensure, of course the minister the Longo spring meeting. One of the things that we for discuss the Promotional expansion. So down if he approve and the government alone gain approval, it will take around 18 to 20 months for let them complete that. Imagine we get Promotional expansion. If we get 50 megawatts in the during the rains, and the dries will get 40 to 45 megawatts.
Nepo,
That also they add up to the generation grid in the country.
you say every year una dey try for close the gap because of the expansions we una the experience, but then gap there we see una dey close. Every year na the same problem, same concern from the citizens. Also exactly the gap them where una dey close the way the problems they repeat every year.
So I think I just give a justification of how the operation take on. But truth be told, I'm not really want for dwell on that one because I know see next year it will be massive. What I mean by it will be massive, will they get more power than the grid. So the things that now we challenge them on the face. Then yeah, they don't pass by. We'll not get for face them next year because by next year, as I tell you, we already get respite. We can begin operations. We get, of course, we can talk about the NANTS energy sector for help. By next year, we could see, we'll go for council button, we could see, say by next year, part of the NANTS will be fully operational. And also, we also do work on other renewable solar infrastructures. So, we'll just come out and say all of the things and what would we do from the back end. Because one thing the ministry focus on and for ensure say we continue for increased access to electricity. Now we can only tap my free time. If you go Bo, you go Kenema, you go Kono, you go McKinney, you go Mabuka, all of the area would they and would they ensure say that they get access to electricity, we don't rehabilitate, we don't construct. For instance, you go Bo Kenema, a new network, distribution network infrastructure they get. So in all the tap down they go now the rural areas, and we don't get more than 150 communities who get access to electricity, and more we get over 70 back who they work on for insurance, then continue to get access to electricity. So there's much work underway.
Lots of problems that happen over the years na EDSA. Issues of corruption, illegal connection, stealing, plenty thing they we don't be exposed. We make at some point His Excellency been sack the entire leadership, bring in a caretaker committee. That's if not solve the problem. We don't the issues of privatizing EDSA. How privatizing EDSA will end all the massive corruption there?
So I want to make it very clear. Not to my knowledge, I don't know. There have been issues of corruption, so all this person for corruption at EDSA will make them sack more recent. We know a long time ago that it be happen during MP when transition into EDSA, but for the last 3 years, I don't see any.
I'm not saying it for you accept.
No, well,
I'm saying it from a place where me no say now that's the happen at EDSA.
Well,
because even new leadership they can take over, they can come out to we the journalists,
the minister said that
now because of issues of corruption with EDSA not able to function properly.
Well, I don't go agree for say the minister come and talk on that.
I'm not saying it for you agree.
Also saying
these are public knowledge, are public information. So privatizing EDSA Nepo go limit the corruption there. If not, it stop them entirely.
So firstly, I have to make them clearly. We opinions not necessarily means it's not the facts. You can think about something, say na so I think say etc. But in actual and in reality, not to so etc. So the issue of corruption, I don't say yes, of course, there are possibilities in offices, corruption can happen, things can happen, but not recently. You will not get any investigation. We don't prove say there is massive corruption at EDSA. You talk about illegal abstraction. We've spoken about that many times now. And we know exactly who side the illegal connection that they come on. It's not from EDSA, it's from the public. Even those certain people can say, well, some EDSA staff can be accomplice for the aid and abet the customer then for letting them connect illegally. But one thing we are always tell the customer then, if EDSA go hold you, now you EDSA the old because now you name the nanometer. not to the other person who you call, whether EDSA staff or whether not to EDSA staff. But also, if we owe you, if an EDSA staff aid and abets the process, you get a responsibility for name that EDSA staff and show evidence of what an EDSA staff don't do for you before we take necessary action. Because the EDSA staff no say they get the responsibility enough to engage in things like that. It's unethical. So that first now instant dismissal if EDSA will possibly do that. The books and the laws and the handbook is very clear, very explicit way when it comes to issues of that nature. So we know the accommodator. Of course, we know say the challenges that we EDSA they face, not to just internal issues, but also it gets a whole lot to do with external issues. What I mean by that? If we want for arrive at a point where we see we get energy sufficiency, we as consumers, we as Sierra Leoneans get a responsibility. Firstly, EDSA not they run like how NPA they run. One of the reasons why they be unbundle NPA then are because NPA they make money for insurance and take care of the bills. And just imagine, then tell the NPA how many megawatts will we get? I'm sure less than 30 megawatts, 30 to 35 to 40 megawatts. So now look at what we have. Look at the expansion rate. Look at the number of areas we get access to electricity. I mean, it's very, very evidential. Go out there. One thing about light, what it is, you see, where the connection they you see, where power they you see, what you know they you know say no they. So we don't lie about that one day. We all know say if we through to we consciences, we know say we don't engage. A lot of expansion happen over the years. We know so we don't increase access. We know say yes, we get other areas that on serve communities who they can for each. But equally so, we acknowledge the fact that we still get for do more. We get challenges them. And the abstraction more sits with the public. Thus the results are you. Now government as part of the reforms that we government initiate, we should see before now government we don't change the board of EDSA, the top management of EDSA. We see even at the time, we see even the ministry governments don't from time in time, they don't come, they don't do some restructuring. These are all part of the reforms. Now, government also they look at another reform we're going to do with privatizing EDSA. Well, firstly, I am following the public no say not to entire privatization, not to the entire EDSA they go into privatization. It's a hybrid model and a concession that what they do. And I don't mean to say we get the turbulent areas, so now the technical and commercial. Now then two operational areas and government will privatize.
Just why not just the operational areas then government they privatize onto the entire company?
So now I make a tell I say because then two areas now are the turbulent areas. Now they actually the challenges them sit down. So government's thing to say bring in a private utility company, we don't get experience in other countries them for they can help for run EDSA. Not to say government the state still own EDSA. Even in the midst of privatization, a government and get EDSA. Now we could forget government forget a company owner and they be the asset owners. Asset owners mean to say we all the infrastructure, the networks, the transformers, the grid, the substations, these are all owned by government, not to the private company. The private company just come look at this portion of management from EDSA, what can we do with the commercial and technical. And the reason for that is one, for improve efficiency and service delivery. Another thing is now for increase financial viability, sustainability of EDSA. We all know say we don't see over time even we cap out the pull notice they disconnect because we get areas and for pay. We get challenges and for collect the revenue because customer relative plenty lights and they interfere with the metering infrastructure. That is another thing. The third one for loss reduction. for look at loss reduction, because we had a lot of losses. The losses can range from technical to commercial.
So you don't again at the issues of finances, so we did talk about earlier.
Finance is not meant to say that corruption. I'll tell you, say, for increase on the financial viability of EDSA, it means to say, for instance, we're not able to collect as much as we should be collecting.
Because your current structures are not working.
I don't know what you mean by current structure now. They are working.
They are working. If they are working, they don't need for privatize them.
So
then they privatize them because they are not working currently. So, because if it's working, there is no need for go privatize them.
So without further argument, obviously I agree say there are some challenges internally when it comes to collecting our revenue, going after illegal abstraction of electricity, honoring our invoices from IPPs. Yes, I know we have challenges, and the challenges are because we're not able to collect as much as we should be collecting from our customers. But I tell you again, if you're gonna CID day in, day out, I mean, when I don't see women, they're gonna feel the check houses them every day. If you go CID every day, they apprehend people them. They're going to CID. Plenty people in CID. And now you go to London now, even before the privatization, the kickstart, we don't collaborate with the judiciary. We are working for establish a fast track court. Once we get that fast track court, every case, everybody don't hold the thief light. The laws are very clear when it comes to issues of that nature. That they hand it over to the court sit down, then pass judgment swiftly. And if you get for pay fines, you pay. If you get for go imprisonment for that crime we commit, then send you go prison. Because we don't reach now a situation we are in. We all know the government they invest a lot.
Yeah. Welcome back. You still watch the Breakfast Show, where they come to you live from Liberty Online TV. We still get Sanepo with Wina at the studio, where the Director of Communications at EDSA will explain some of the challenges they meaning words we EDSA they get, and I think that challenge they just hit we at the studio. Nepo, how you go explain this way happen?
Well, as I say, we know the rate from the fact that we are faced with challenges in our operations. So yes, of course, like I mentioned during the program, we just face challenge where lights go. But again, as I say, as we sit here, we'll not go for certain days, why the lights go.
It's gonna blackout.
At the camp,
and that's what they happen.
Well, like
every blessed morning. That's what they happen.
We'll look into
whole of last week, we run on diesel, and it's very expensive. You see the kind of generator.
So I tell you why when we get.
This is how businesses they suffer.
So the whole of last week, when we get serious underground cable faults, so we began at this community, we diagnose them, we be get for put in for the cables, then kind of very expensive cables, them underground cables, them we don't run them and we don't restore power in this part of the country. So yes, of course, I agree. Say we get challenged last week, but it be due to faults, not to like say it was deliberate. However, like I already explained, we don't when it's coming to the privatization. So this private company you have to focus on the technical and commercial areas. So probably they will look at the major infrastructure. They will look at the theft within the operations. They will look at customers, then payment methodology. They look at several other things. So then things will help for increase the financial viability of EDSA, and also how then go work for increased customer satisfaction. That will be key, because like we on Monday Brombo say, like we when they say lights go, maybe
what say we dey nepo.
So then
You
go look into
say,
that.
I believe say Usa you they live, you they experience the same problems there.
So
you know they get lights at your area.
So no, so everybody what you do, the load shedding plan they touch everybody. So
You know they
We know the touch
it's
real.
okay.
load shed, you know
It's-
they work.
No, it will
You know
work.
how
You said
many
they see out in the
you know
tag, you know,
how many
social media on a daily.
areas.
It will work.
You know how many area them where the timetable they show out for get lights. What they know they get light?
So I want to follow be very clear about that. I don't talk say the reason why we dish out the timetable to the general public. Now for let them able for predict the days they forget light.
But then they
Now
not
you see,
get.
so if you not get lights, also what we do further, we don't envisage for say it is possible that there are times when somebody forget lights due to other reasons. We go range from either faults or at times deliberate. The person don't get light. We don't create a platform for them to reach out to
They're not
EDSA
cancel
for
the
make the
timetable.
complaint. So when you
It's
complain
not
to
working.
EDSA, we know it's
because you
working.
know we don't pull
Because
timetable.
you know why I say the work.
Prepare somebody mind say for example on
So-
a Monday you they get lights.
So you know
Monday
so
you
know
not
why
get
I say-
lights. Now
so-
other side get lights.
So you know why I say it work? Because most of we are managers, we are supervisors in different areas. Where are the stay in Agorich? And they tell you say the timetable will work effectively in Agorich.
Nepo.
Because at the monitor.
Nepo. I know people
At the
when they
monitor.
live na God where they complain
So
about
at the-
electricity.
No, everybody
I
is
sure say you said they see these concerns on social media because people do tag
no, so
you.
the fact is, Khadija, the fact is, people they want light on a 24-hour basis.
Because they forget her.
Yes,
Then
but
they pay for her.
But we don't come
What a
up.
favor now they
So
do for
no,
people.
not to favor now. Right now, people they
right.
right.
Then they
We agree
pay.
to that.
Then they get her.
Nobody need the.
People they buy top up, put her at the meter.
We
The
agree
lights
to
when
that.
they come.
But what's good is that because we are faced with challenges, we not hide them and show, let's say we are fine. We came out with honesty, with confidence. We inform the public for say yes, we face with the challenges there. But however, now the plan we don't put in place for ensure say when I get access to electricity. So when they talk for say
you don't they talk about them challenges.
So
there.
when they talk say
Since
no,
I know you
no,
working for EDSA as the PRO.
the point of
Every
the point
year
of
dry season,
the point
you
of
dey
argument
come
now
out
is that
to the media and talk about challenges.
So, the point-
challenges we are not able to overcome
the
them.
point of argument now is, and they tell you say the load shedding is working. Although if there are areas where they face problems, where they forget light, you not get light, let them reach out. The reason why we
If they reach out, say, for now they respond.
no sit down one day.
How many toll free
No.
number they own at the pick?
No.
How swift they wanna they go
So
in
you can
that
call now
area?
and
I was
check.
like,
Check.
I
So-
don't need
so-
to call.
no, you need to because
I don't need to
we need
call.
for-
I they tell
we
you
need to
now
establish
say
the fact.
on a toll
If
free
you call-
line they're not effective.
It is.
If accidentally una
So,
pick say
no, I go say accidentally.
if somebody report a problem now after days una dey go
No.
there.
So firstly,
Nepo,
let we not
accept
building
say-
notion for say
accept
Nah,
most time
accidentally,
when
no.
faults they
So if
come,
you call
if
now-
them call them go say vehicle
so
not dey.
made it challenging now. Say if you call now,
You
like,
aware
if you
say
call,
most of the time
and
they can say vehicle not
if you
dey.
call now the free toll line and the challenges say
There are
then we
areas
pick.
when then they mobilize
you
for
check-
people the way they use
check
bikes
the chat box.
for let them go na that
You
area
check
then
the
they.
chat box, you will not say it work. I see you test and just it work. So that is you see the platform it work. So let us also use the platform. We're not establishing platform then they just for let them sit down, nobody use them. We're establishing because we know say problems of this nature go happen, and we require we customer them for complain through them platform there. Because if you not complain, how we go for check the platform say then complain they don't come in? How we will know some of the problems them? Because if you say for instance, if you get problem, you call me. Sometimes we will get the capacity for call for let them go help you. But also everybody will call, will get the capacity for let it call for let it help you. But when you log it means to say the person who don't log get the responsibility for ensure say that problem they reach to the full circle. If you don't receive the complaint, you get the responsibility for push that complaint to the responsible department for them to take action, and it gets the responsibility for go back to the customer and report and say your problem has been solved. If you not solve it, the customer say go response it. Now this is not the challenge you get. So now so it operate. We know they argue. We know say we get challenge. We know say we for do better than this. We know say we are working from the back end for ensure say even the power will come. A lot of effort, a lot of work we put in place for ensure say people they get access to the power they get. But I want for continuous assurance for say we are aware of the problems, we are aware of the challenges, we dip and work tirelessly for ensure say by this time next year some of the problems that we already face they're not go face up. And not just because of I want for talk, but because I know say
every year they make this same promise.
No, I am making
every year.
I am making this
every
promise.
Year they make this same promise. Say by this time next
this
year,
is a different promise.
The people them not go face this blackout challenge.
This is not a different promise because we have to see the development the way the government they bring coming. Like when you talk, you just anyway until not reach on the NANTS, but you don't see the NANTS turbine we don't come. I don't tell you about we plan the media at all. I don't tell you about respite we don't complete. We get other projects and we by Q1 next year we go don't complete them. So once we complete them, for instance, I mean say this NANTS energy you have to give it twice of generated megawatts we will get now.
So Lepo, you go agree say EDSA no don't treat the people of Sierra Leone, especially Freetown here, fairly, because as we sit now, this program what they do so na generator with you, and most morning them are the same thing they happen. This is a business. You know how many businesses them like Liberty they suffer this same problem.
So yes, but
what about the one we afford for buy diesel?
But equally so, when I came here this morning, we get EDSA power.
We're not consistent.
Around 7:30, we get EDSA power.
And not consistent. And that's it now because they know say you get for Kayati.
And we go halfway the program, we still get EDSA power. What I discover for establish here is we know say challenge them day, but not to like say power not available. It available. People they get power. Liberty they get power.
We know they get.
I know say, for instance, like you get break in transmission.
We know they get power.
But you know me to
we
say
they survive on generator.
You know me to say when they get outage every day. No. That's not possible because I know the two of you. If not they get power,
you know what you say.
I know now. Say if not they get power outage every day.
We can tire for call.
They call.
Just so you know, we can tire for
but
call.
But I can appreciate. For instance, I'm glad this morning when my sister tell me say it's sleeper light from yesterday. Tell you to with the guy left right now.
Never.
Daddy tell you say, let's say it's a light. But we know say we did not share.
If we pull you video of them promises here we they make to people in the past 10 who go play na same season then same year na the year who they host you and at the same story they tell people every year.
Well, but this particular story I tell now is different from the previous stories. I'm gonna show you of that and
we will play this for you next year.
And this one we are the talk about too, not to fiction. Na reality because the things them what they do, what they make long myself go see them, what to lie them. So I'm not gonna say what in the body so not to lie at school. So
we don't need for go see them. If we didn't we host them.
So for instance, the NANTS Power,
you lights will come on.
The NANTS Power top by one I see cancel by Q4 of this year. Would they get 70 megawatts on the grid? Not to by explain. You see it happen now. Then you see the technical and mechanical works they go on. Now,
let me talk about this NANTS Power. A lot of excitement been there over the weekend. But one thing the people that might not know, say some of them money and I then get for payback for there are loans involved. What's exactly involved in this NANTS Power?
So firstly, this NANTS Power now part of President Bill initiative for bring or for eradicate energy poverty in the country. You know, many times the presidents don't publicly promise the people of Sierra Leone, for say by the time in your tenure they done, they will ensure say energy not will be a problem again. So the NANTS energy now a process we don't begin for over 10 to 15 years ago. But under this administration, we don't see say since 2018, the project the government be looking into them. Government don't get approval from all parties, and we don't begin the preliminary stage for this project. This is one of the largest projects that we Salone don't ever get when it comes to energy rehabilitation and enforcement. So the thing is, the NANTS energy projects in total capacity we aim for GIWI is about 108.4 megawatts. So like how I say initially, it get for bring about two turbines get for camp. We don't get one of the largest turbines just camp, we just transport them to the site on Saturday. And we make them very clear on Mansiam, not to say by explaining or like we display them, the vehicles, escort them, table na kishi dockyard. And we then go there, then see they don't begin build the platforms, installation ongoing for ensure say that turbines they install them. Yesterday again, Sunday, we transport the generator for power the turbine. Plan is for long go to the site. So rapid work they underway now for ensure say then try for install that turbine there and coupling time.
It be a good news. The second set of Nepal, that be a good news because with all of them development in the energy sector, citizens them go be happy see, then go begin get the service when they pay for. But there are loans involved. That is the question. When you look at the entire project, huge amount of money involved. How the government of Sierra Leone go able to generate the money for payback? So
obviously this project one we get for do with cooperation between the government of Sierra Leone and that of the United States of America. So now make you see
and also the ECOWAS Bank.
The entire financing is about $412 million. Of course, the ECOWAS Bank for Investment and Development puts, I think, about $40 million as well. You get in the international development finance from the US. We also, I think, they put about $292 million. Of course, then you get something about equity, TCQ, and another company put around $85 million. So yes, of course, involve huge finances for get this project together. But two things for me, it not get for be too much burden on the people because it not get for different from the existing IPPs that we'll get. So then just get for come operate and we then begin power the grid. Then invoice EDSA. I think the contract between them with Ministry of Energy and EDSA is about 22 years agreement and get. And I think then they build, then operate, then at a certain level, then transfer.
After 22 years.
Yeah, then transfer. Which are the first of this kind model we're looking at the country.
So how this
because
different?
We are assured that after 22 years, that infrastructure is going to be owned by the state.
How this different to the car power shift?
I just don't explain the difference. car partnership is not going to be owned by.
But a business themselves they can do.
But the NANTS Power,
just like waiting
after
car
22
partnership,
years, we are sure that it's going to be owned by the state. So now government, just like get boom and now government gets.
Yes, so it's not as easy as you explain now. Within the 22 years, then go they do business.
It's not also
the states go they pay them.
It's not also as difficult
the
as
states go they pay their loans there. Then until after 22 years, after all the states don't pay their loans there, before it belongs to them. So the business then they can do literally also, just like waiting car partnership they do. Where the state not able to pay them at some point and they shut down.
Also as difficult as you they envisage them.
I'm not envisaging difficulties. I just explain the reality of how the arrangement.
So the reality is we are paying for every power we are utilizing. So it's just the same trajectory. Then they come, then build, then install, then operate. After every cycle, they invoice EDSA for pay based on utilization. I mean, they go for the buy gas, they go for the buy diesel for put this. So obviously not for free, then get for the invoice EDSA based on the power that they generate. So not the same trajectory. So
sustainability get for be a challenge, Nepo. You know why I say so?
No.
The car power ship where they are now, currently, EDSA no they would generate the money where they suppose for the give to car power. All the time when I get invoice issues, all the time when I get backlog, huge backlog for pay to car power ship. Where the money don't reach to a certain amount on another able for pay, car power self na business then can do na salon, then they shut down. So if EDSA they go through challenges for pay car power, how na go they able for pay the invoice there with this NANTS? So that's
when last you notice for say car power shut down.
Hold on.
It's been a while.
When Cyril Grant take over as minister, he sat there. He explained all of the issues there.
Yes, of course.
He inherits. And Cyril Grant's not tell it for them able to get that money there for pay backlog of money there. When I get for pay to
yes, but what thing will happen over the years is that
so I still get debt for pay.
Car power ship and the Ministry of Finance, we don't get backlog payment agreement.
Yes.
We then they follow religiously.
The stretcher.
So left hand, that's
no, I don't go left hand because that is the arrangement.
That's their own internal arrangement. I don't know how they stretcher. What I know and what I will speak to is the fact that they get payment agreement, backlog payment agreement of which they follow religiously. On current invoicing, EDSA gets in component with the pay and with the honor month in, month out. So that is why you could attest to the fact that it don't take, you say, car power is shut down. But it's saying also, the base load at this particular point in time, holding also is from car power. They're fully operational.
So now we look at the NANTS Power. How una plan for raise the resources for able for pay them when they self begin operate?
Sincerely, at this elementary stage, I don't really want to focus on how we
need to, because when you begin talk, when Khadija ask you, tell you say the burden go for count to the people for pay that money day, you say not too much get for day pandem. So when means say una get optional payment plans.
No, but if you utilize
on a plan for raise the money.
The thing is, now I can say it not get for change because the thing is we get missing and use. You obviously buy it up for person and miss for they utilize. From the customer perspective, now the same thing ever happen. When you get power, you want for user, you buy it up.
So now they make for pay for and that's what they say.
You get for pay for this. You forget about NANTS Power, forget about car power. The thing is, NANTS Power, car power, CLSU, Guinea, Transco, we are paying for all of that.
Pay for
but what thing happen is that you now as customer, your responsibility now for ensure say you pay appropriately for the electricity you consume. So you buy it to pop meter instead of
the question is una they continue as EDSA, una they continue forget additional commitments them from their sources of electricity. The one coming from Guinea, the one coming from CLSG, the car power ship. Now the NANTS don't add again. EDSA not to secret say una no dey able generate revenue for una self as a company.
So
we make the privatization conversation come up.
So now
exactly. With additional commitment, are you sure una dey able for pay all the money there?
I am sure one of the key focus of the privatization are for increased revenue. So once the privatization commence by Q4 this year, then get indicators, then get performance indicators, we therefore go by religiously. One among the 5 we get now enhancing revenue mobilization. And why they get for focus on that? Because of them commitment that we don't highlight. Because when World Bank and other partners think to say, once we privatize, once we able for go into privatization, the private company now get the responsibility for generate revenue and for honor the invoices where they come from IPPs. So we don't see over time, we now only now they in charge now. Most times with the call on government for cushioning the situation. But when we launch the privatization, it's not going to be like that. I mean, international partners and government the one for relief, government for relief itself from some of them burden and focus on other issues in the country. So of course, with the private intervention, we are certain for say they are going to increase revenue because they can't put modalities into place for ensure say the one who the flights, then pay their dues, we don't pay you dues, you face the full force of the law. And even backlog, even now, what we don't do, we don't get a company where they collect for you backlog payments. We don't get people that we don't owe EDSA for a number of years. So we say no, let EDSA focus on current revenue mobilization and let we get a private company within the focus on historic payments and where people therefore make to EDSA or don't make it.
Nepo, when all of this come into reality, should the people expect an increase to the electricity bill within they pay currently?
Not now. I'm not sure about that now. Happen? So well, let's tell you, it just like the increase in fuel price. There are indicators with the drive that one day. So even now, I believe say some of una we don't really think say tariff don't go up because of the hike in fuel prices.
But tariff up, the public no they know. Pass you go buy you. Pass you go buy you top up. If you buy 500,000,
not a time.
80 units.
Not a time. We don't increase tariff. We don't cancel on this podium and talk to the people there. This podium, not a time. We don't do that.
Stop it, Nepo.
For increased tariff.
Stop
Let's
it.
tell you.
Stop
No,
it.
let's tell you.
Stop
For increased
it.
tariff.
There's no way you go sit down at that podium. Not to me or maybe.
So let me tell you. So let me know.
So when last you talk about
the last one have been increased. How you been sit down talker?
No, yeah, actually not talker. So what I mean, what I want to make very clear is that one, there are indicators when it comes to tariff increase, and not to EDSA the increased tariff. We have a regulator, what they call the Electricity and Water Regulatory Company, EWRC. Their core mandate, now then they review tariff and approve increase in tariff. So we can just make an application. Imagine what can happen these few months we don't get increase in fuel prices. We don't increase tariff, but from the back end, the IPPs, what are the invoice the increase in fuel price is indicative on their invoice. But EDSA and government decide for burn that component and not push them as a burden on the people. So things that happen, we know they come no more and begin experience on the people. So you see, the tariff still there as used for the no increase, no adjustment, but from the back end, EDSA and government they incur.
So Q4 where this begin work, the tariff not go for shifts?
Not for now, that has not been the conversation. That conversation of cooperate was when the NANTS Power begin operate, tariff the go up. That will not get that conversation yet. If the need arise, not to because NANTS come on the grid, will make EWRC increase tariff. Then look at indicators, then get parameters whether they measure for able for qualify for we get an increase in tariff. I mean, if that is met, that is requested for, and that is justified, then it left to EWRC for say, no, we need an increase in tariff. But as it is now, that conversation will be yet, and they're not even initiate it. And I want to assure Una and members of the public for say, once that one day come up, certainly we will call Una, we will visit Una, and we will inform Una appropriately. But that is not a conversation as we speak now.
So with the additional sources of electricity, the public for be hopeful say EDSA go able to serve them the services within the pay EDSA for.
So yes, firstly maybe encourage them for making clear say with all of the intervention with the government through the Ministry of Energy and EDSA, they bring camp a very, very, very costly. And also government they involve into all of this just for ensure say then own up to the responsibility by providing electricity for the people of Sierra Leone. Yes, of course, the assurances with all of the interventions that I want to highlight and many more, want to even talk about it, go make we move a bit away from energy poverty and begin look at energy sovereignty. We are in, you will sleep and wake with power supply. But also, we very key and again for very quick for make and clear for say the customer self can take responsibility. Because if all of the developments that they come to the fore, governments they invest so much and they put effort to ensure say the light reach now the doorstep of every Sierra Leonean. Every Sierra Leonean also for inculcate the habit for pay their bills. Because at the end of the day, if Sierra Leoneans refuse for pay them bills, them the burden therefore come back on government for able for pay their IPPs and in very, very, very cumbersome at times and very, very expensive. Because there are times sometimes money we government for use for invest in other sector. They don't get option but for invest for pay and IPPs. So we are calling on the people in as much as government also reflects very hard for ensure say we increase on our generation infrastructure. We take light to the people of Sierra Leone, but please, with the big, let people themselves stop for the thief light. Because if you check some internet, you see we lost over more than 50% of what you're supposed to forget. So that means to say half of the population not they pay appropriate bills, half of the population they steal electricity, which is not good for a business.
Improving on the infrastructures and for generate the energy now one. What about the area of distribution? Especially with this NANTS way, una say by fourth quarter, it go begin operate.
So one good thing.
How the distribution network internally, because not for generate and store, but you go for distribute.
One good thing about the NANTS project is that then they build their own evacuation center. If you go na Kisido here, the CC, then they build their own evacuation center. Just like I will get Kintom. Kintom now we injection point. Now all the power they come then get they will begin shape. Now NANTS Power not get for come through Freetown 161 through Kintom. NANTS Power then get their own evacuation center. So the own power they generate, they're able for uphold that power day and distribute them to the people. So you see, say even outside NANTS power located now I go class them as industrial area. You know, so now Kisi, we get a lot of industries that Kisi, and we believe say once NANTS begin operate fully, most of the industries then will get challenged now for fully function with EDSA power. Will begin for get reliability in power supply because of the
distribution is
line
not going to be a problem.
It's not going to be a problem. And also, what's good about that one day is that we don't also build bulk injection points. Now, so for instance, if you go Aberdeen police station, you see one bulk injection, you see one big injection point to don't build. If you go Wellington, we get a day. If you go Joy, we get a day. You go Waterloo, we get a day. So we don't build around 6 injection points right across Freetown. So we believe say once that power day and what that NANTS power for do for we they relieve we of the burden for begin distribute power from a very long distance. Imagine right now, we they distribute power from Kintom 161 right to Waterloo. So we get network challenges along the distribution flow day, because you must get gaps, you must get buffers, things that happen along the distribution chain because of the span of the network. So now with NANTS Power, we they directly inject the power from Kisi to the rest of the eastern parts of Freetown without no problems. Equally so, I just tell you, say we get the Respite project. The Respite project, it is Newton. Newton, I will say, is almost a part of the east. So if we get Newton, instead of getting your own injection point, so Newton able to take care of certain regions, take them around Lumley and other parts of the east to go Waterloo, to go Tumbo. And again, we are working currently, work is underway for electrify the entire peninsula. If you drive along that line, you will see the JICA team today, the EDSA team today, that they work tirelessly day in, day out for ensuring they construct the distribution network infrastructure for close out from Sussex right down to Tumbo and part of Waterloo.
So should we safely say by December this year, the challenges by electricity because of this NANTS go down be a thing of the past?
Not in totality. Not in totality. Because by December, we are just getting around 70 megawatts from NANTS. So that 70 megawatts added to the existing generation capacity will help we for actually supply, if not 20 hours, but 18 to 19 hours electricity right around the clock, now Freetown. It will help we. It will relieve we from a lot of challenges that we face. So we are also praying, we are expectant, and we are hopeful that Nanamic, the Ministry of Energy and EDSA, they closely monitor the project for ensuring the timelines we incorporated within the project scope, they meet them. So because you know, say in any project you get delivery phases.
So by June this year, they get additional 70 megawatts.
No, by June this year, we get additional 30 megawatts from the Respite project within Newton. By Q4, we go there around November, December. We get the NANTS project would give you 70 megawatts. By 2027.
So this year alone, they get additional 100 megawatts.
Yes, that's the expectation. Additional 100 megawatts because we get 70 and 30.
Additional 100 megawatts.
Of course, we should be able to supply them Freetown.
24 hours?
I'm not going to assure 24 hours.
With
you know
100
why?
megawatts?
You know why I'm not going to assure 24 hours? Because we still get for the experience network challenges. We know they reframe from around day. We still get people who get bonds meters. We still get people who experience cut wires. We still get people who get experience cohesion on the line.
Why are you not optimistic?
No, I am optimistic, but these are
with
things
100 megawatts additional.
Yes, but these are things.
Be optimistic.
Even if you have a
are they able to give people and the light for them
so
desire?
would they give them? I don't assure people for say would they give them the light?
But you're not optimistic.
But equally so, I go for very clear for tell you say, even if we get brand new network in Freetown entirely, issues of cohesion they happen. These are normal things so they happen within any network distribution infrastructure. Cut wires. You don't pass the same bank pull. He cut the wire cut the pull for them. And once that disconnection happens,
but if when get a proper operational team, these are issues when are they able for solve.
Yes, so now I can see it will take sometimes in the hours or a day for solving them issue. So in all instantaneous as they happen, we solve them. But what happen, we have to go for us to do visibility study. We understand the nature of what's happen. We get the materials that they can repair and conduct maintenance. So now I can tell you, see, I don't go assure 24 hours round the clock because it's possible that small technical glitches will happen along the way.
Now talk back about this privatization process of EDSA. What's on a day now with the process? When I don't identify the company, when I don't go through procurement.
So all the don't go through all the bidding process. the successful bidder don't come, then free far on negotiations right now. I believe in the next few months, then we'll close out on our negotiations and then we'll sign contracts. But the expectation is by Q4 this year, the concessionaire will begin operations. So it will fully come and take over the technical and commercial components of EDSA. Whilst government fully also look at the assets. It means to say government will continue for invest in the network distribution infrastructure. Government will continue for invest in generation. Government will continue for invest in the things that will go help for drive satisfaction when it comes to energy, eradicating energy poverty within the context.
Country like Guinea, Nepo, they generate their own power to the point that they get sufficient power, then they even sell to other countries like owner where they go buy from there, and they put infrastructures in place. The question now what they ask you, when una go reach to that stage for generate una your power to the level of even selling to other countries?
I've been to Guinea, official travel. I've been to Guinea. It was interesting for no say. Yes, of course, Guinea then gets a lot of hydros. They operate past Guinea. But it was interesting for no say. Guinea, they don't get that kind much expansion as we get.
But then they generate their own power.
In the sense, then distribution infrastructure.
Then they generate the question. Then they generate their own power. Then they get 24 hours light. They sell to.
So you know why they sell to it? Now because they don't get a ring of distribution network infrastructure for saying the all man Guinea. Not all man Guinea they get 24 hours electricity. Because if you don't get the network, you know they get the power.
Forget about
now you get the network, now you get the power.
No,
you don't mention Guinea. So let's discuss on Guinea.
Yes, Guinea they discuss. But the question I ask you, if country they like Guinea, they generate their own power to the level of, then they even make money out of them because then they sell and give una. Not so free then they give una. Una pay una, they pay them. So when una go reach day?
And they will do so. Will you far now?
Also una day.
So
for generate una own power?
You only generate your own power. You have the ask question, you know the answer. Firstly, the government of Salon gets Bumbuna. Bumbuna they generate power at the country.
Of course.
Now government they work for expand Bumbuna. For Giwi.
Who not even get investor.
For Giwi. No, we don't need investor. Government go work with in current donor partners. Probably for do that investment day.
Probably.
No, either government take the responsibility or he work with in donor partners. Any of either World Bank or AFDB, either of them one the way willing for help government for letting expand on the boom ride. It's gonna happen. I'm very optimistic about that. That need to work. We get the MCC. If you check the components within the MCC, it gets a whole lot of packages we can do with generation. You get a big Congo, the other hydros them we incorporated in that package. Well, I believe say once that project they already start the project, probably recruitment of staff, mobilize things and get contractors for look at things that are beginning at it. But I believe say once the actual implementation begin, we go see a lot of the things that we would see now as a problem that will begin for that project will begin for solve and for it. We've also seen something we're going to do with Mission 300. We pioneered by Dr. Kanayum Keller. We see say recently the president and Dr. Kanayum Keller together with the Minister of Energy, they're all gonna Austria for look at this Mission 300 component. It is going to come to life, and down the way it come, and therefore purely look at renewable infrastructure and then look at renewable installations in the country, install renewable energy and we get a lot of renewable energy in the country and they reduce on cost. Once you reduce on cost, it is even possible that if you reduce on cost, you will reduce on tariff. So they are looking at that and it's not futuristic, something they are looking at it. We also currently, just about 3 days ago, a team of Chinese people, Ministry of Energy and EDSA and EGTC, they're going to the dodo na kenema. You got everybody dodo hydro na kenema. They are looking at rehabilitating that hydro and even expanding on the efficiency and output of the hydro. Once they do that in the back, you see, that is going to take care of Kenema, Bo, and Kono. So that is also work on the way. So I am for make you know, and we view audience for say, government and the Ministry of Energy not just sit down, full hand, full foot. A lot of developmental infrastructure will get for deal with enhancing electricity in the country. They on the way. And as I belong say, and I continue to say, some of the investment, the more they happen now, we not go feel out until 2-3 years from now. Because for energy project, from the inception, from the initiation to the inception to the completion, it will take time. So, but the assurance is once it will begin, it progress, it will complete. And once it completes, the people will feel the effect. So, all of them project in they get for count to friction. So, I am for assure Una and all Sierra for say, yes, of course, there will come a time in this country where we will totally eradicate energy poverty and transition into energy sovereignty.
All right, Nepo, a lot of messages on coming. We go read the messages, them we go respond to before we can get to the other studio guests na the breakfast show this morning. They begin for read the messages them, and the very first one I go look at Masiri Barry Kamara na the Facebook say at 65 we're still struggling with electricity problem. God help Sierra Leone.
All right. On YouTube, this one from Augustine Ibrahim Kamara say EDSA operational team is not working as expected. They are very slow in responding to the needs of the people.
All right. This one from Abu Abdullah Bangura Semebel and Khadija ask our brother who interviewed him in the studio, please let him tell us the dates. Increase in electricity is becoming alarming.
Sulaman Kama on YouTube, they say how people let lights where unanother give people a light. EDSA worker na the same one them where they do illegal connection, because how common person we no know about electrical go do illegal connection.
Mahmoud Ba say the east end of Freetown is experiencing massive blackouts. In my community, for example, we hardly get up to 4 hours non-stop electricity. It's really frustrating.
Lansana Ali Bangura, they say Guinea has 4 hydros and 1 car per ship and 24-hour electricity from Conakry to Pamlap. All the villages along the highway has electricity, and most places in Conakry use free electricity paid by government to the point that even some shops or kiosks has air condition. It's a shame the government is still blaming APC after 8 years in power.
Jibril Kabo say local community, it's over 5 days we've not got light. The shading is not structured well.
This one, they say 70% is inaccurate to supply Freetown with electricity for 18 hours.
Celia Boma say, will EDSA compensate customers for all the inconveniences?
Alhaji Koma na YouTube, they say increase in tariff in electricity bill is imminent because our government wants to get the money quickly before they exit.
Abdul Mendy say change of company or new privatization and the same people running the affairs. What is the difference, sir?
Khadija and Mabel all waiting for no one tell we salon people in that we can see high electricity bill payments, not so secret.
Almobas say good morning, EDSA. It's 7 days now, no light or Waterloo post office.
Liberty TV, this na the grand finale for EDSA promises.
And this one from Abdul Mendy say that is just the basic truth. They are doing nothing absolutely.
This one, Alhaji, they say Nepo is doing his job playing on the same book. EDSA have problems. That's why they are not able to respond to their platform, he will assume responsibility and divert attention to the problem.
Victor Callum say, when we go able get 24/7 lights, God said there should be light.
It is deliberate. EDSA and GUMA haven't done anything significant for sustainable energy supply in Sierra Leone.
Mahmoud Jabi, EDSA does not have the capacity and capability to distribute the lights. They are just there enriching themselves. We look for alternative companies, but reliance on EDSA, we will still continue to have blackouts, even if there is lights.
All right, so many messages for Nepal. Boss Zola Sise, they say, God bless the PRO for speaking to us. We still trust the process. Keep the good work, Mr. PRO.
Abu Kale na Facebook say 3 things matter more than anything else to solve electricity challenge. 1 is a consistency of policy, not constant changes. 2 is a political will, long-term thinking and not quick wins for politics. And 3 is accountability, less corruption and management.
Mohamed Dadiba Kamara, na my last message for Nepal. He say EDSA really the frustrates winner Eastern.
Lansana Ali Bangura say Guinea has 4 hydros and 1 kappa. And I think we'll come over to Nepal now.
Thank you very much. I appreciate the messages that we viewers and send. And you see, say they not totally disagree on some of the things that we're saying here. But one person, the last message second to last we read, where the person highlights say we need the political will, we need investment, we need other things that we mentioned. Exactly, that is what we need. We need consistent policies, because policies now you put into actions. So yes, of course, and that is what the ministry is doing currently. They don't set up policies and they religiously go by the policies. They religiously monitor the agencies for ensure that they implement them policies to the fullest. Because once they are implemented, then we'll be able to reach to the expected end. And also, somebody talk about I don't speak on Guinea them hydros and what's in the problems with them. Let's say your problems, and you get people, you get parts, you get places like you don't get access to electricity. So many places, and even within the city centers, people in the way not get access to electricity. You can go and check for yourself. But one thing we don't do as alone over time. Yes, of course, I agree. Say we get challenges. We are faced with generation challenges most of the times, but we don't able to expound electricity to many places, not just in the capital city, but even to the rural areas and the provincial towns. So, and we therefore continue for the do that, because we know, say, even the one that we did now, more infrastructures that they come up. So we need for continuously increase on the existing generation capacity and infrastructure. So somebody talk about the private company. If not the same people that get for on, no, not to the same people. Now a different company, they don't work now different parts of the country, but they are situated in Uganda. So now they can take over the concession, look at the distribution and commercial component of EDSA, but the staff then for the, but they look at the management of the component in the. So now they can look after that, but for people they know, say it's still government owned. Government then still get for the in charge for supervise them and for ensure see the focus areas are delivered on, because if they're not delivered on the focus areas, then there will be no need for them. So, but we are optimistic that because of the record of the other countries, they will equally come and deliver us alone. And the motive why the government thinks we need only now for increase on service delivery, now for reduce on the losses, and also now for increase on the financial sustainability of the utility. Because in any country, if a utility not able for make profit, but therefore able for break even and take care of the expenses, that is the vision the government get. Somebody talks say we know they follow the load shedding plan as it's supposed to be. Yes, I think say in we early conversation we talked to that particular point, and I have for also call on the attention of that person there and talk say if you not get light for a number of days, or you know say forget light, report to EDSA through the platforms, or if you even get the chance, you can kind of EDSA office or the sub offices and make a complaint so that we will look into them and see what's not the matter. It's possible for say you don't get issues where you self not aware of, because we know say we man there for go by the timetable religiously, and we say we identify say problem day, and we still continue for call on the public. If you know say we man there, they do what not correct na the network, that they disadvantage people and give advantage to other people let them can complain to me. Once we get a proof of the complaint, they will see the actions we EDSA they take against that individual day. Of course, again, somebody talk about say EDSA the losses, blah blah. So through, yes, of course, the losses, thus the need why government think to say a need for get a new face when at a private company for can look at how they will look at operational efficiency and focus on key areas and we go for make EDSA viable, because as it is now, most of we are challenged and we only they survive because government they help we for take care of a lot of other issues that we are faced with, and we are grateful to government for that. And we think say with the intervention of the private company, they will come and help EDSA for grow and develop more. So the assurance also with somebody talk about 70%, none of the 70 megawatts we talk about from the NANTS. Say you know go for give me 18 or 19 hours electricity. The person gets it wrong. I say the NANTS 70 megawatts will come and add to the already existing generation capacity we'll get. So if we get 90, if we get 80, you count the 70, you add and then of course now an increased generation capacity will help for give you what we want for let the people then get. So and we'll continue for emphasize that one day, we'll continue for monitor that process day so that we go for meet the timelines. So somebody compare Salon to Guinea. I'll make them very clear. One thing about Guinea, they get a lot of mining companies per Salon. So if you check most of the hydros, then you see then align them to some of the mining companies and then they pay. So now somebody talks say even most of the domestic consumers and they pay electricity. It's not the same here. Yeah, we'll not get much mining companies who they invest money when it comes to private capital. So most of the investment then either government or we don't have partners on our World Bank. So but even as that, we can do quite a lot of investment to ensure say we're able to eradicate energy poverty. So the assurances with all the projects and we'll get, including the MCC and the Mission 300, we are very, very optimistic that by 2030, we're not going to talk about blackouts again, because if you look at the Mission 300 in expectation, therefore remove blackouts from certain countries then from now to 2030. But before we reach 2030, the government's own vision now for ensure say Freetown gets electricity supply in a much better and improved manner. We will all go be happy. We will sleep, wake polite, and we will boom investment in industries. They will come up. We will establish more job opportunities for we brothers and sisters. And because I can always talk say electricity like a social and economic driver in any country. Without electricity, that country they bound for fail. So I believe say in as much as the government they try invest for ensure say we increase on electricity accessibility, in that process, not just electricity accessibility get for be visible, but it gets other varying components to go do with job creation, investment, trade. We all will come inside our one pot for improve the livelihood of Sierra Leoneans.
All right, Nepo, I should say after you don't explain so a lot of people could be hopeful, especially with the NANTS, the first turbine we don't come. Then also again with the other additional source them. And I understand say una for shut down Bumbuna for maintenance before the rains begin come. When exactly that's gonna happen?
Yes, I think so. We'll get a meeting. We'll go and we'll get a conversation day. And once we get a conversation day, of course, as usual, I will reach out again to members of the public through the media platforms there and inform them accordingly as to when the maintenance starts and when. Of course, it's not new. Every year, because they gradually can go into the rainy season, we need for conduct repairs and maintenance at the dam and readiness for we able to get the dam up and running when the time reach.
So when the public for expect say the load shedding go stop?
Well, I believe see the load shedding by let's say June, because
so that's June that they come back.
So what we do now is in totality, but like I say, small with the close the gap. Small with the close the gap, but in totality, because in June we get a considerable amount of generation from Bumbuna as well. So then they go up for totally close the load shedding gap and we'll go back to with normal 18 hours, if not 24 hours supply in the capital.
So now the last dry season this way we they getting kind shake, yeah? Next dry season you will hopeful say with all waiting on the work on now.
We'll get an improved supply capacity. Yes, of course.
People know they experience again total shutdown.
Well, when you say total shutdown,
yeah, because it can happen.
Total shutdown.
Then they come where they say they get outage, car power don't go off.
So total shutdown, that's until we will not get control over. Reason being is they happen due to several other reasons. We can get partial outage, we can get total outage. Partial outage now we just a certain portion of areas go get power outage for a period of time. Total outage now the entire turn go off the grid, and that happen mostly. Sometimes we get technical glitch along the line, because see the line is span from Bumbuna take and Freetown. If wire cut span, of course not transmission line. If you cut that means they distort the flow of power from one point to another. The entire city will go down. But then most times we get Salini, that are the operators for Bumbuna. Then they along the line, as it happen that the NEPAs, we no one day experience more than a day with the country shut down. If with the country totally shut down, then because they manage the operators and they around the areas, as and when the fault they occur, we will do total outage. They can conduct repairs and maintenance immediately and restore power.
Recently, McKinney at one place we don't complain about blackout, and usually can be so. What's really they happen with them?
Well, I think few weeks ago we get issues with supply capacity from CLSG, because then they conduct maintenance. So then they make we be load shed McKinney. Not so them go totally out of power, but we institute load shedding just like I will get free. So for I think it was for like a period of 3 or 4 days they be experience load shedding, then we'll come back to normal supply. So
because when they say we'll take the lights out and free.
No, we'll never do that. Now because the lights will not be there. The will be there, 9 they be the get. We'll not take out come free town. We're not going to say because the line the pass through McKinney and Maboka. So you first we see the line and you first the benefit of all the drops. Even the CLSG project, all the villages and where the line pass, they all don't electrify them. So you know the pass you see the line, you know benefit for. So that also will not take the lights come free to. The lights see the and then go attach to the factory. Immediately after the 3-4 days, we come back with the power who they use for the gate, right. And they are now fine.
All right, Sanepo, Director of Communication for Electricity Distribution Supply Authority EDSA, we give electricity to everybody, especially we within a free tongue. Anytime like this, networking day out na various media houses for explain the continuous challenges where they don't get we make people na free tongue no they get light. But for I believe say na the last dry season this way citizens go experience then kind of blackouts there. Now be a pleasure we'll get you this morning. Who they can talk to our next studio guest now, as on all aware from last week to now the international moral guarantor then they tongue they don't the all negotiations with different stakeholders, them from the government, the opposition, civil society, members of the media, for see how then go ensure say then solve the standoff within governance as the APC withdraw all the elected officials, then say then they boycott because of the implementation of the tripartite recommendation and self the agreement for national unity. Well, the moral guarantor then we meet with President Bio, na State House, and President Bio being get this for say. Let me listen to what the President be say from there we can talk to other studio guests. What this mean for service delivery, especially na governance.
Lead of the International Moral Guarantors and delegation, senior government officials present here today. I'm happy we are having this conversation again this morning. It's not really a conversation, but a report of what has transpired in the past couple of days. First, I want to thank the Honorable Vice President for his forensic details of what has transpired since the beginning, because what we are talking about actually started as my own brainchild, as always. I have looked at Sierra Leone not from a political lens, but as a political entity that we should shape for the benefit of Sierra Leoneans, for progress, for development, and for, of course, in an ecosystem of peace. And for all the times I've had to lead, I do so just for the purpose of that. As a young man, I dedicated my life to public life as a soldier. And my contribution, when we came in, it was an authoritarian one-party government by the APC. We struggled, and because we had denied democracy for 30 good years, we struggled to remove them, and what I left was a democratic dispensation. I did not just leave a democratic dispensation, I left peace in this country by making extraordinary effort to begin the process of resolving a conflict that they have created by their acts, which they still want to continue to do. We will say no to this because we are genuinely committed. I have nowhere else to go in this world but Sierra Leone, and I don't want to go anywhere else. So that is why they've been unwilling partners, but we will continue. And that is why I thank you for being moral guarantors. It's out of transparency that I called for this process. They did not ask for it. They had 11 years. Nobody spoke about reforming the electoral process that has been so troublesome. We have had to blame, even in opposition, and they have had to blame. I said, if we are all blaming this system, let's reform it together. And we are so transparent that we called all of you to come and be referees. Thank you for being genuinely involved in this. And it's open, less dialogue. So I thank you, Mr. Vice President, for taking part. You have extensive knowledge about electoral systems, and we have a crop of international moral guarantors who also have know what they want, and they can sit and referee. I just want to say that assure you and this nation that I have taken an oath maybe 3 times to seek the best interest of this nation, and I will never betray that trust. That is why I'm seated here. I'm happy that I've been given the opportunity to lead West Africa as the chair of the ECOWAS Authority of Heads of State and Government, and we will continue. It's unfortunate that politics has taken over every aspect. I think we should give the people of this country the opportunity to also make a choice. When we spoke about proportional representation, it is because we've watched the political surrounding, and this is the best form of electoral system that will give us peace. We are not doing this for the interest of one party. As we all know, the world is in a state of flux, I will always say. And if we can create an oasis of peace by our own actions here in this little geography, the better for us.
The moral guarantors and been going in office last week, and if you miss all of that particular information, they go there now. All we Liberty Online TV platform, them you will get in the as we they can get the conversation how we get to do with waiting go wrong, the tripartite recommendations, the parties then will be involved, the APC they cry foul, the government they said don't implement, the SLPP they put a question mark on the implementation where the government say they don't make. We don't listen to waiting President Bill tell the moral guarantors them, although we not play all of that clip there. But let we just welcome we next studio guests where they can discuss the issues and now we get to do it. This whole moral guarantors and we come salon back. The thing where they happen at governance currently, we see the opposition on the out of governance for some time now. We don't know yet when they will really come back and begin work. There has been calls for letting them come back and begin work, but then you demands them when they make say government must look into them before they come back. Well, we can get the conversation this morning again, and I want to welcome at the studio a governance experts where we don't get at the studio from time to time for discuss issues we get to do with governance. It's a pleasure for getting here this morning, Dr. Victor Moinina. Good morning and welcome to the breakfast show.
Good morning, Madam Bebe. Good morning, Khadija, and good morning to Sierra Leone.
We don't watch part of the clip, the statements where the presidents be make, where the moral guarantors and in office. We see the moral guarantors don't meet again with the opposition. They don't meet the AG, they don't meet the chief minister, and different people just for see how they go continue for look at concerns them, whether they come up and how for forge the way forward. Plenty people they look forward, say by the end of the day, if they pull them position, they know say they go for call on the opposition party for go back into governance. But we don't waiting the president don't say part of his statements. He talk clearly say where be the opposition, he complain about this. Now APC is in opposition, then they complain about this, but then they 11 years in power, they not be make attempts for solve. And one thing where he make mention of now dialogue. He said they are open to dialogue. But firstly, from your perspective, how did we get here as a nation where we see the opposition don't go out of governance, then get demands them where they don't put foot say government for look into before they come back? How you feel say we get here?
So basically, let we look at the process we run executive share. This now the third intervention of the moral guarantors from the 2023 elections. Remember, so we get the first one will be called a national consultation, a national conference will lead to the tripartite. And just from a reliable source, this morning I'll be there on another sister media house. We then come for explain to we see it's Alex they don't reach as a consensus. So this not so something we knew for we all. We know how we don't evolve this thing. But we get two burning issues we will not ever address. Number one, the disaggregated data we the opposition they call for. We not still see it. We don't know who that actually win the 2023 election, whether not the SLPP winner or not the APC winner. And I believe that the bone of contention we believe to the first one, the first boycott. Now the second one, now the appointment of the Chief Electoral Commissioner, Mr. Edmond Alpha, where we don't even know whether he get for be replaced or whether they will continue with him or whatever get for happen. But from what we understand that they come up with 8 additional resolutions then we could be made known this morning, because I make for understand and get press briefing this morning where they get for invite media houses and other people them. And from waiting back we understand it's like they get for make the addition of the composition of the tripartite. We get for include now CSO, they get for include the media, and they get for include other political parties, which is quite normal because of course all these people that always talk say they have been excluded from this whole process. But the bone of contention is this: the governance architecture, who that it meant for? Now for we the people or not for the parties? Because if we say now the people then get them, they're waiting to make all these things where we talk about in terms of the resolution, the 80 resolution with the tripartite PDRS. Now we can get 8, make them a total of 88. We get for implement all this one. Would that for be the benefactor? So this now that make way the whole process there on a kind of really daunting, because too many things are left unsaid, too many questions left unanswered. We see 2 major players will actually be there into that first agreement, that first meeting with them gets. Then already the first one are the contestants for the APC. Dr. Samora Kamara. We not see him throughout this process. The second one are the Chief Minister, when are Dr. David Senge. He be done there as the mediator for the SLPP all this while. But now we come to this meeting with the international moral guarantors. We not see him.
But the area of Dr. Samora, the APC be officially replace him with Dr. Kelfalamara as their own chief negotiator.
Okay.
And for the government side, the moral guarantor, they meet with the chief minister.
Okay. Now, what make I say Dr. Samora important is the fact that Dr. Samora was the flag bearer of the APC for the 2023 election. So what to make we not meet with him, or what to make we not see another picture? He is not just a negotiator there. He's also the aspirant for the APC for the 2023 election. If anything go wrong, I think say himself for the only day because himself gets a role for play. But we not see Andy throughout the process. And at the end of the day, if we did make decisions, he is supposed to be there because he go able for talk more for himself than for the other person, for talk for him. So this is why I'm saying that the situation of that thing is really dicey. But at the end of the day, we all be the hope and pray say we meet at a resolution, and with the hope and pray say the APC will come back to governance, because so many things that don't go left on hanging. We will not see no way forward until we see them come up with their actions there later.
But with the way things they go, so from a governance perspective, the way things they go, the back and forth about the implementation of the agreement for national unity and that of the tripartite recommendations, we make the APC say they're not a part of governance again. We make the moral guarantor then come back. We initiate all of this. That boycotting they be necessary.
Well, to their own perspective, yes, it was. Reason being, if you feel aggrieved, if you feel like the process not fair to you, if I follow yourself express anger and express the way we could do. Like I said, boycott also is APC no more than one. SLP self the boycott when I'm in opposition, and not a new phenomenon to the governance space na salon. But what to me they look at now is a very tricky side with me they look at. What if this agreement after we don't start to implement and back fail? Who that will be responsible? Who that another party or that person or that institution who will say for can be there another person will for stand up for we and make sure say the thing all water better one. Because at the end of the day, APC go then we start to implement it well. We see that they call for additional members. We see that they call for the CSO. We see that they also call for other political parties then for CAM. But even the saga we happened before we lead to this one, when at the appointment of the CSL chairperson, we see the other political parties they already send their approval. Out of 15 political parties, 13 actually sent. Only for APC and Unity Party, not for send. So if we dey get 10 people there so back on board, what's they get for contribute towards the whole process? So like I say, una get question, me we say get question with the people there because we want to know how this whole thing get for players. Because end of the day, na Salon for win. Salon I forget the bigger picture.
The dynamics change recently when the moral guarantor then come. We see more players then come on board in the conversations. We see people like the vice president come on board. He gets meeting with the moral guarantor then, the APC. And where he be the brief His Excellency the President at State House, he say 8 out of the demands them where the APC they make, they don't able to forget a common ground on them. And the intervention of the vice president, you think say it creates any level playing field for try for bring on board the APC? Because from the get-go, then we don't get a line say they know they meet with the chief negotiator on the government side when the chief minister.
Okay. Well, I think so, yes. It be necessary. Of course, the constitution of Salon also make room for the vice president intervene in the absence of the president. And I remember, so even before the negotiator they meet with him, he meets with the APC councillors them. I believe say it was last week where I follow up that story there, and I see say waiting really it do not a bad thing. And of course, as per the constitution, it be just a work within the ambit of waiting. Of course, the vice president a very dynamic man. We talk about all of these things. Remember back when we get that issue with Guinea, and I be the person we go intervene after we foreign minister be done go there. So he's doing a very good job, and I believe say for that day we be need for get him on board. I believe say if we don't come on board safe earlier than now, because throughout this whole process we not see much of him. But it's better late than never. At least we see and come on board at some point.
Based on the demands where the opposition APC they make as to waiting go make then go back into governance. If we take that as a foundation, it will be all the hopes that today we go hear from the moral guarantors. But if they not fix some of them issues, and they one, for example, the disaggregated figures where they don't call for from 2023 to now. The other day we been get somebody from ECSL, waiting Albert been say was pulling agents from the parties were there and then supposed forget them figures and the way the party they call for now. If the ECSL, for example, not put that to rest, if they make any agreement moving forward, it go for be concrete, or you the forces so will come back to us within now if they not fix some of the issues here at this stage.
At this point in time, I don't think say it prudent for let we even come back to waiting to happen in the future. Reason be let we implement waiting first, we don't try for fix up. I foresee a lot of things and go happen. But the first thing is, let we try first for amend what to do. Even disagreements that we would talk about. You know, say there is a loophole we will never address. The loophole was after we don't sign all the agreements there, so from the national conference where we get for peace and unity will lead to the tripartite. Whenever table in a parliament. And until and unless you table in a parliament before it become a working document. So more or less, it was more or less like a gentleman's agreement. Let us first of all try for table and day. We get that discussion, let us see how best it could be implemented before we go able to move forward and see how best things are going to be done. But for now, as I say, it's too early for let we tell whether it will work or whether it not go work. We all the hope and pray say it will work according to how they don't plan. And because imagine say the agreement be supposed to be done by Friday. It was only concluded, according to it, I understand, at 3 a.m. this morning, when on Monday morning. So if a discussion drag from that time frame, see there was a lot of issues will not be agreed on.
Not so because everybody will don't hold a position, especially the opposition APC. We don't get their own position.
A possible so. But also back it can also mean say back some terms, some agreements and the way they not be meet up to. Like one of the way we did talk about so right now, the ECSL chairman. We're not hearing nothing on the bottom. Of course, we then pull the 8 points that we then come up with today. We're gonna know Usai we did and Usai left follow.
Additional 8 points again, adding to the previous
18.
one from the agreement for national unity we bond the tripartite.
Yeah.
continue for add point upon point. Implementation, now they always thinking scatter. Should the people be hopeful, say, then can standoff here in governance no go happen again between the two parties?
Well, now that make a happy way make for understand say we dey get additional people that will come on board, not to numbers per se. We dey get the CSO, we dey get the media, we dey also get other political parties. Then I believe say this addition for be that point will not be the day all at all. Because back then we not be get them. It was only the two parties. And then we be get the commission will be the work, it's appetite commission will be the work on the agreement. Now when we have these other people, of course we know say they not go add much, but then go look at how the implementation don't be done and whether the implementation don't be done properly or whether there are errors in implementing it. Mind you, government they tell you say we don't implement this. APC they tell you say we don't implement this. With additional people or extra people on board, I believe say we will know now whether they talk the two and whether they talk the two from this whole thing.
All right, we still wait for C because we all just they speculate, waiting for come out.
Yes.
And both parties for focus on Nami win or for focus on the people win at this point.
So in conclusion, I'll just say, for me, in my own personal opinion, I see this as a major distraction. We get a whole lot of governance processes for adhere to, a whole lot of things and they for discuss. For let we get this standoff at this point in time, we go say almost 2 years to election. Though we know the dates now for election, which is November 2028. What do we get for gain from that? We also get the APC with their own national convention set. They don't put it on hold because of other issues that will come up. We also get political issues where they happen at the country. Even today, we will discuss that this morning. We get issues that really happen at Abu. We get issues that really happen all over the country. And we have this one now that is going on. I believe, say, it's time for both the government, the opposition, and we, the people, in actually make things work. Salona for the honest standstill because of something that happened. We able for push forward and move on. Mind you, we always the pride we say Salona one of the countries that we don't overcome the obstacles of conflict, resilience. Resilience in simple terms at our level. So we win at our level, then just a between no more just a between. Now attempt for we self push and make this stay so workable. If it workable, we all go benefit. And we pray say this one has to be a lasting one. We not go on for long get another issue we get for call back other people. And mind you, all of these things get economics attached. The people coming in are going to be paid. And all of these people that are going to be on board will be paid. Who is going to pay for them and at what cost? So please, Sierra Leoneans, I believe that now at the same follow make our work for that we all will benefit later. And thank you very much for always having me. I know severe late this morning, but you understand the pressure moving from here to there, and now we are here. Thank you very much.
All right, Doc, many thanks for you come to the studio this morning. And like we say, we the closely monitor. No sooner we a reward from the guarantors, then we go for make them, of course, public for Leona safe know, and we will continue the conversation because, like the president say, dialogue, but it's not just dialogue again. You can just the talk. If you know the walk the talk, then issues will continue for the. So definitely we go bring any updates where we get from the moral guarantors, be it from the opposition or government. We go bring and come to as the day they go. So now continue for monitor all with social media handles them. As we get the news, we go break them to Una. Many thanks to you who send you message and Seth. Many thanks to the production team. We make this edition of the Liberty Breakfast Show meet you. Until we meet again, Mabel Kabadis. Get a lovely week and goodbye.
All right, many thanks to all who joined me this morning. Stay tuned to Liberty TV. 10 o'clock this morning, the moral guarantor them, the stakeholders, they meet with the media for give updates on waiting the two parties they don't agree with. We go update on a shortly. Stay tuned to Liberty TV as we go bring on a live coverage of that event today because this is very important for the citizens understand exactly waiting at the additional points them where the government and that of the opposition don't agree on. And if then go back to parliament, local councils, and the different elected officials them where the APC be done withdraw. Stay tuned to Liberty TV. Mina Karija Bangura, they say, have a good day.
Building tomorrow today with Rightmove. Looking for quality, reliability, and innovation in your next big build? Choose Rightmove Engineering and Construction, Sierra Leone's trusted name in transforming ideas into enduring structures. We don't just build projects, we craft landmarks that stand the test of time. From state-of-the-art offices and modern homes to fuel stations, water systems, and infrastructure, our team delivers precision, passion, and perfection. At Rightmove, we are not following industry standards, we are setting them. Through cutting-edge technology, uncompromising safety, and sustainable solutions, we are building a brighter, stronger, and safer Sierra Leone. Visit us at 54 Campbell Street, Freetown, or call 078399475 or 077504338. Rightmove Engineering and Construction. Building quality, building trust, building the future.
It's Labor Day. After all the grind, stress, and queries at the office, it's time to ease your brain, laugh out loud, and feel like the CEO. Live Jam with Kindo and my hustle will make sense on Labor Day, Friday, May 1st, 2026. Venue, prestigious Bintumani Hotel, 7 p.m. Ticket prices, Kindo, 500 millions. Answer, 1,000 millions. Amin, table for 4, 10,000 millions. Adir, table for 8, 20,000 millions. You don't buy yourself plenty. Now come and laugh. No excuse. Media partner, Liberty Online TV, and cooked by Eminence Africa.
I say, it don't make sense. I don't make sense.
Wise men bank with UBA. Wise women too with UBA.
School pupils in Sierra Leone, do you have a creative writing skills? Would you love to win a brand new laptop and a scholarship grant worth up to 50,000 new leones? Then, this is your moment. The UBA Foundation, with support from UBA Sierra Leone, in collaboration with the Ministry of Basic and Senior Secondary School Education, is proudly launching the 5th edition of the 2025-2026 UBA National Essay Competition, as the UBA Sierra Leone has teamed up with the Institute for Legal Research and Advocacy for Justice, ILRAJ, to make it bigger and better. Are you a senior secondary school pupil anywhere in Sierra Leone? Then get ready to showcase your ideas. Write a handwritten essay of not more than 500 words on the topic gender-based violence in schools, causes, consequences, and solutions. And yes, the rewards are exciting. First prize, a brand new laptop plus a 50,000 new leones scholarship grant. Second prize, 30,000 new leones. And third prize, 20,000 new leones. Remember, your essay must be handwritten, not typed. Upon submission, please include your full name, passport photograph, your age, town and district, school name, and of course, the name and phone number of your parent, guardian, or teacher. Submit your essay at any UBA branch, MBSSE regional office nationwide, or the ILRAJ office, or send us a scanned copy to cfcsierra-leone@ubagroup.com. For more information, please call us on 078 200 200 or 099 22 11 22. Deadline for submission, April 30th, 2026. So, sharpen your pen, share your ideas, and be the voice for change. Visual impaired students are also encouraged to apply. The UBA Foundation National Essay Competition, unlocking young talent and shaping the leaders of tomorrow. Write it, submit it, win it.
Freetown City Council Public Notice Enforcement of Frontage Cleanliness. The Freetown City Council FCC has observed with serious concern that many owners and occupiers of buildings within the municipality of Freetown continue to neglect the cleaning and maintenance of their frontages, premises, and private drainage systems. In several instances where cleaning is attempted, waste is left piled near drainages, creating an unsightly, unhealthy, and environmentally hazardous condition. Part 3 of the Freetown City Council Solid Liquid Waste and Collection Bylaws 2024, Clause 8, subsection 1A clearly states, an owner or occupier shall maintain and keep clean his frontage, premises, and private drainage systems. Clause 8, subsection 2 further provides that an owner or occupier who contravenes sub-relegations 1 commits an offense and is liable on conviction to a fine not exceeding 5,000 unions or to imprisonment for not exceeding 6 months or to both fine or imprisonment. The Freetown City Council hereby informs the public that full enforcement of the city bylaws has commenced. The FCC Metropolitan Police have been deployed across the municipality to monitor compliance, conduct routine patrols, and document violations. Any individual, business, or institution found contravening the above provisions will face immediate penalties, including fines not exceeding 5,000 unions, imprisonment for a term not exceeding 6 months, or both fine and imprisonment as provided by law. A clean city is not only a legal obligation, it is a shared responsibility. When residents fail to maintain their frontages or misuse public spaces, the entire city suffers the consequences. FCC therefore urges all residents, businesses, and institutions to cooperate fully and maintain their surroundings. A clean city begins with you. Maintain your frontage, dispose your waste properly, respect public spaces, and obey the law.
You are watching Liberty Breakfast Show on Liberty Online TV.